Good? Hello. We're making sure that we're recording right now, in case you're wondering what we're doing right now.
Oh, yeah, wait. Is there a show tomorrow?
What?
Is there a show tomorrow?
There's no show tomorrow. This is the last show of the week. Oh, why? Did you think we had a show tomorrow?
Yeah, I kind of just thought.
No.
That explains why you're in last show of the week mode.
What is my last show of the week mode? Do I seem more relaxed?
More relaxed, yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can keep that going.
Yeah.
Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. One of the things about this virus is that it doesn't care who you are or whether you believe the virus is worth staying inside for. You can still catch it. Case in point, we learned today that one of Trump's personal valets has tested positive for coronavirus. Well, maybe this will help the president understand how scary it is for the average American when one of their personal valets tests positive. Now, the president's fine, but this was a risk, given that Trump's valets do not wear masks, and the valet who tested positive works in the West Wing and serves the president his meals. That sounds troubling, but keep in mind, the way you serve Trump his meal is to kick the door open, throw the chicken bucket inside, and slam the door before you lose a hand. The president was reportedly pretty upset. A White House source said that news that someone close to Trump had tested positive for coronavirus was hitting the fan in the West Wing. Luckily, the White House fan is so caked with poop at this point, it no longer spins. Now, this news is inconvenient for the president because it gets in the way of Trump's core message that we've got to open up the country as fast as we can. And to that end, the CDC has actually already prepared a detailed document with step-by-step advice to local authorities on how and when to reopen. But the administration has shelved the document. It's just another part of the president's long-running campaign, the less you know. The report was supposed to come out last Friday, but then the White House told the CDC scientists that the guidance, quote, would never see the light of day. No, because it's damaging to me politically. Plus, if you want to fight coronavirus, we all know that light of day has to go inside of you, okay? It's called boofing sunshine. I'm boofing on sunshine. Whoa! This is all part of Trump's hands-off approach where instead of actually helping, he puts the onus on states to handle COVID-19. Okay, but it's a national crisis. We obviously need national standards. There's a reason why the Heimlich poster in restaurants doesn't say choking is different in every state. Now, we know what the guidelines would have been because they were leaked to reporters. And they do contain some helpful advice, like restaurants and bars should install sneeze guards at cash registers and avoid having buffets. Kill the CDC guidelines. I must save our nation's beautiful buffets. I'll always be there for you, room temperature macaroni salad. It truly is all I can eat. Trump might want to get rid of his own White House's guidelines too, because most states that are reopening failed to meet White House guidelines, and in more than half of the states, case counts are trending upward, positive test results are rising, or both. Look, I'm no political scientist, but I'm guessing killing voters in an election year is going to be awkward at best. But Trump has a plan for that. A senior official predicted Trump will soon begin publicly questioning the death toll as it closes in on his predictions for the final death count and damages him politically. So he's going to question whether the deaths actually happened. He's gone from being a birther to a deather. And if there was any justice, he'd be a lifer. And denying the deaths of Americans is next level cruel. It's also not going to work. They'll be gone. People will notice. What's he going to do? Billy, sit down. I need you to be a strong little soldier because I have some bad news about your grandpa. He was never real. All your memories of him were implanted. Now take this red pill. It's Adderall, and it's fantastic. You'll be able to drive a nail with your eyeball. So, who's going to sell Trump's message of, I don't see dead people? It's none other than Trump 2020 campaign manager and baby chick who just set the barn on fire, Brad Parscale. This morning, Parscale tweeted, For nearly 3 years, we've been building a juggernaut campaign, Death Star. It is firing on all cylinders: data, digital, TV, political, surrogates, coalitions, etc. In a few days, we start pressing fire for the first time. Okay. First of all, Brad, it's refreshingly honest of you to say you're the people in Star Wars that were designed after the Nazis. But have you seen the movie? Spoiler, it doesn't end great for the Death Star. And I'm going to go ahead and say that a deadly pandemic is maybe not the best time to associate yourself with something that kills the population of an entire planet. And if anything, Trump is the opposite of Darth Vader. He won't wear a mask, and I'm pretty sure his line would be, "Eric, I'm not your father." But I have to admit, it would make a catchy new campaign shirt. Trump 2020, objectively bad with easily exploitable design flaws. And speaking of masks Trump won't wear, the president recently told advisors that he fears he would look ridiculous in a mask. Mr. President, let me assure you, a face mask will not be the thing that makes you look ridiculous. Even worse, Trump worries that if he wears a mask, the image would appear in negative ads. He's so vain that he's worried that if he does the right thing to help America through this crisis, he'll be mocked. Just like those attack ads against Eisenhower. Yeah, he won D-Day, but check out that goofy hat. Like an exploding Death Star, Trump's decision to go maskless is reverberating outward. Because we've somehow gotten to the point where face masks make a political statement in the coronavirus era. That controversial statement? Being alive is good. In fact, Democrats are more likely than Republicans to say they're wearing a mask when leaving home, 76% to 59%. Oh, come on, guys. Safety isn't a political issue. If it makes you feel better, politicize your mask. Use it to tell the world what your politics are. Make it MAGA or a border wall. Or let them know you're no liberal weenie by slapping on some truck nuts. Now, COVID isn't just endangering people's lives, it's also turning our most beloved cultural icons against each other. Take last night, when there was an all-out Twitter war between Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, seen here finally learning what a session with Mistress Carlotta entails, and Guns N' Roses singer and man vowing revenge on whoever did this to his gloves, Axl Rose. It all started when Mnuchin called into Fox Business with some really bad advice.
Do you think international travel will be opened up this year?
Our priority is opening up the domestic economy. This is a great time for people to explore America. A lot of people haven't seen many parts of America.
Really? Traveling during a pandemic? That's the worst advice since Florida's hurricane season ad, visit the Sunshine State. It'll blow you away. Well, Axl Rose was having none of it, tweeting, "It's official. Whatever anyone may have previously thought of Steve Mnuchin, he's officially an ass." Oh, it is on! A feud between Mr. Appetite for Destruction and Axl Rose. Well, Mnuchin wasn't going to let that one stand. He tweeted back, "What have you done for the country lately?" Well, one thing Rose has done for America is remember what its flag looks like, because that's the flag of Liberia, which gave the last word to Axl, who responded, "My bad, I didn't get we were hoping to emulate Liberia's economic model, but on the real, unlike this administration, I'm not responsible for 70,000 plus deaths, and unlike you, I don't hold a federal government position of responsibility to the American people and go on TV telling them to travel the U.S. during a pandemic." Man, Axl should run for president. He's got government experience. He's already created Chinese democracy. Oh, and here's a blast from the past. Remember the Russia investigation? You know, back when we could still collude in person? Well, there's big news for one of the major players in that scandal, former National Security Advisor and general who sent his glasses to the front lines, Michael Flynn. Flynn lied to the FBI about his contacts with then Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. Well, today, the Justice Department said it is dropping the criminal case against Flynn, despite the fact that he pled guilty twice. Justice really is blind, because after hearing this, she's face-palming. The Justice Department evidently agrees with Flynn's lawyers, when they alleged that Flynn was trapped into lying when agents interviewed him at the White House days after Trump's inauguration. Oh, yes, they trapped him into lying using that old dirty trick, asking him to be truthful. The supposed smoking gun for the charge is a note written by one of the agents before they went in to interview Flynn that read, "What is our goal? Truth/admission, or do we get him to lie so we can prosecute him or get him fired?" Sounds damning, except the agents concluded they should protect our institution by not playing games. And maybe this FBI agent shouldn't write down every single thought he has. Should I have sex with my neighbor Pam? No, I should protect the institution of marriage. Happy anniversary, Jill. Remember, Trump was always mad at Attorney General Jeff Sessions for recusing himself from these matters, but now he's got Attorney General and frog that was kissed and turned into a toady, Bill Barr. And now the Barr Justice Department has finally lived up to its name because they have truly barred justice.
Wordplay.
Today, Trump spoke about his old buddy in the Oval Office.
He was an innocent man. He is a great gentleman. He was targeted by the Obama administration, and he was targeted in order to try and take down a president. And what they've done is a disgrace, and I hope a big price is going to be paid.
Well, a big price was already paid, because without telling anyone, Michael Flynn was paid $500,000 to represent Turkey's interests during the Trump campaign. But still, Trump's a big booster.
I'm very happy for General Flynn. He was a great warrior, and he still is a great warrior. Now, in my book, he's an even greater warrior.
Yes, he fights with honor for whichever country ends up being the highest bidder. It's all detailed in the movie Pretty Warrior. He's a general with a heart of gold. We've got a great show for you tonight. When we return, my guest will be New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Join us, won't you?